you're judging me for being me, which I don't think is fair in any kind of situation. And also, what you see is what you get. Like, I'm the realest of real. We're on a TV program, so yes, it's gonna be like hyper extended, but also it's not gonna be someone else
Mm.
other than what I can give you.
Kiki, Kiki, Kiki. I
Yeah.
am so upset that we're having this conversation. How are you feeling now?
Um,
So does out.
a lot better than I thought I would. I was so anxious the whole day, like feeling sick. I felt like I was hungover and I was like, I just need to throw up. I just need to throw up. I don't like this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to Brewers. I don't want to watch the episode. But then watching it, I was like, oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I left graciously like a hood bitch would, and I looked stunning. So I felt very good.
Yeah.
And there's a weight off my shoulders now. I don't have to pretend as if to say I'm going to win.
What was the fan reaction like at the two brewers?
So supportive. Like, I was just watching like my little isms and schisms, like got the laughs in, and then like seeing that I was in the bottom, everyone was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a show," and I just saw everyone was like geared up, ready. And then when the Kiki Sashay away happened, I was just like looking around. I was like, I don't want to watch this right now. I feel like no one's gonna care. But then everyone was just like gagged, gooped, bewildered, flabbergasted, dumbfounded, all that it's and whatever. And it's just really nice to see that everyone's just kind of there with me. Like, wait,
Mhm.
what? Like, sure.
Something that I think, I don't know if this does make you feel any better, but like online, the reaction is so supportive. And as someone that's been, a fan of Drag Race, I know you have been as well, we both know this fandom is not always that supportive of people.
Yeah, they
Just
can go
less
off.
said the better on that. But the point being, like, genuinely, I haven't seen any negative tweets about your exit or any posts or anything. It seems like everyone's genuinely so sad to see you go. Does that make you feel any better in any way, just knowing that you do have that support?
It does. Like, I think it's my phone is still like going off and it's all coming around so quickly. Like, I've not even been able to see all of it, but like I've spoken to like my friends and my friends are like, bitch, like people are loving you, like things are going off. And not to do my own horn, like I know I'm a good person, I'm good at what I do. I put my heart out there and I'm very loving. So it's very silly not to love me back. But like it's still so like humbling and a weird experience to just see random people that have either seen me at like brunch or something or like across the world that are like, oh my gosh, I want to come down to like London and see you, like you're a fave. Just to see that, it's just like, wow, people actually just like me for me being me and just doing what I love, what I've always loved to do and what I enjoy. It's nice. It's yeah, it's such a beautiful experience.
I think that before you went on Drag Race, you had this amazing kind of you were very well known on the scene anyway, I think beforehand.
Mm.
And what has it been like sort of having that transformation to now being a Ru girl from going from someone who was really known, especially on the London scene?
It's kind of boosted things a little bit. Like I'd always be walking around Soho and whatnot, and I would be able to actually just walk around Soho in or out, like out of jokes. Be like, yeah, I'm going to Cuba. I'm heading up to heaven. Like, I'm gonna have a shindig. I'm going to a mess. I'm going to a full. Literally the other day, I went out with my partner and sister-in-law and wasn't in drag. Didn't even have a little piece of makeup on, and was hanging out of my cheeks. And I got stopped and recognized like people shouted my name. I was like, oh
Mm.
my goodness. uh, what? Like it was someone's birthday, and he looked like he was about to pass out, and I was like, "Girl, I am just Kiki Snatch, just like you, baby." Like it's just I managed to get on to TV, but like it's it's insane, but it's like correct.
Very correct.
Like
It's about time. It's about time. But let's discuss the
it's about that time.
copyright infringement on YouTube real quick. No, I'm only kidding.
Ah, yeah.
Something that I did love seeing is you did win the mini challenge this episode, period. Uh,
Like, hi,
about time.
you
But
know.
you got to choose who would speak with Graham when, like in terms of the teams. Do you think that ending up on a team of 5 people was a hindrance to you in the end, or do you think that didn't play a role?
I don't really think that in a row. Obviously, they have to cram things into like an hour and 15 minutes or whatever. And me making decisions, no. So no one ever gets me to make a decision for nothing because we would have been at the end of the season and I would have been there like, oh, who do I choose? Who goes with who? But like, yeah, there was no strategy. I think I could have been in a team of three and maybe have been more of a character or still been like outshone. I think it was kind of luck of the draw. I put
Mm.
myself in a group where I was like, I know I can bounce off these like we'll have such like randomness to us. Um yeah, and it just kind of worked out as it did.
When you got a little bit emotional in Untucked, the queens all seemed really supportive of you. Can you talk a little bit about like the sisterhood that develops between you and the girls while you are filming?
We actually hate each other. It was all for the camera. We can't stand them. No, it's crazy because we all knew and got to see like how strong from the get-go we all were. And like there was as much as it's a competition, we didn't really compete with each other as you'd think everyone would. There was like no weak links. We got stronger and stronger. And it was like, oh my gosh, people actually have to go. And
Mm.
it was fully like just losing a part of yourself, just going, oh, now that part of my personality is gone. And now we're just gonna fizzle out. And yeah, our bond were just unbreakable and so supportive of each and it. We wanted, and we still do want. Like we've got the group chat, want the best of each other to just let us flourish.
Obviously, we saw that you were quite I don't know if upset is the right word, disappointed maybe in the critiques is maybe a better word, and Lavoie was
Mm.
really trying to sort of reassure you there. What was it that kind of got you this week?
Yeah, the whole humanity comment, like, and me playing a character is like you're judging me for being me, which I don't think is fair in any kind of situation. And also, what you see is what you get. Like, I'm the realest of real. We're on a TV program, so yes, it's gonna be like hyper extended, but also it's not gonna be someone else
Mm.
other than what I can give you. And I think just from before, like me and my coming out journey, and like before coming out, I just had to kind of shout at myself. And even when I did come out, no one really understood me because I'm all over the place and my brain just doesn't really fully compute with I can't compute with myself. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I was trying to find a way for people to understand. And then when I can finally just be like, oh, you know what? I'm now comfortable. I'm more patient with myself and can actually understand who I am and be me to then be like, told you're not being you. It's like, wow, you've now just sent me back again. And yeah, it was a little bit heartbreaking because I'm just like, oh, here we go. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it is tough. And I think something that a lot of the queens from previous seasons have spoken about it is really hard to do competition and have that week after week because ultimately you're being judged for your life in many ways, you know what I mean? Because drag,
Yeah,
drag is a big part of you guys' life, and especially someone like you who does it full time, right? Unless I'm wrong. So it's
yeah,
um
that's actually mean.
totally. And something I could feel through the screen just as a viewer was I could see how that had got you. Like when they were showing the shots of you all on the stage after Untucked, you could kind of see that it had gotten to you. Do you remember what was going through your mind when you were told it was time to lip sync?
No, I think there was so much of nothing. It was like at one point it was like, bitch, you just got to do this, give it. Then at one point it was like, well, you know what, you know how this is gonna go. Just give up, just stand there, maybe do a Ginny and just walk off and just be like, okay, cool, haha. And then it was just like then there was another part of me just going, no, actually, you are that bitch. And everybody knows how you perform and that you can. I was in a tight, corseted ballerina dress dancing to a song about dancing by David Bowie. I ain't gonna be able to do nothing, but I still gave. And I was like, you know what? And then it was just like, I didn't know, I didn't even hear the lyrics going through my head. I was just doing it, tunnel vision. Yeah, it was so much. So much. And I was like, I have to send Octavia home. I have to. And then she robbed me. I was robbed. I was robbed, Octavia. And I'm coming to take my shit back. Thank you.
Something I've said to every single cast member so far, and I really do mean it, is this is one of, if not the most stacked season we've seen in the UK franchise, but it's definitely among one of the most stacked on all of the franchises.
Mm,
And I feel as though everyone that's been in the bottom each week hasn't been there because they've done this awful job in the challenge. It's just because it's the format of the show and because
yeah.
someone's got to be. There hasn't been like a car crash performance so far in the season. And that definitely.
Surely not.
Now, this is the part where I say yours actually was the car. No, I'm only kidding. No, listen, jokes aside, like I really feel that applies to you. I think that, all the critiques online that I've been, not critiques, sorry, a lot of the fan responses online have actually been saying that this should have been a double save. How do you feel about that?
I was here. There was part of me that when she went Octavia Shantae used them, I was like, oh no, you know what, fair. And then I was just gonna go, Kiki Snatch, Shantae use her. And I was like, it went through my head, and I was like, no, she's definitely not going to. And she went Kiki Snatch, you snatched her heart. So I went, you fucking bitch. How fucking dare you do this to me right now? But then I stood there gracefully and was like, gracefully like a hood bitch would. Thank you.
A lot of people thought you were going to get, the Candy Muse save. Do you know what I mean by that? Maybe not.
I think I did. Yeah.
She'd been eliminated.
He was walking off, and then he was like,
I'm not ready to lose you. That's what a lot of people online were thinking you were going to get, was like, and I admit I was one of them. Like when I got the release through yesterday, I was like, surely not. I was like,
nah.
surely the diva's not going yet, but it's okay. Something that I've really adored about this season as a viewer is we've seen so many meaningful conversations about everyone's lived experiences. And obviously, we know this is the most diverse cast yet of Drag Race UK. And I think this season is really nailing on the head the diversity of UK drag, because UK drag is some of the most eclectic in the world. Like what you see in London,
Mm-hmm.
what you're going to see in Scotland, and vice versa, and stuff like that. What has it meant for you to see these kind of discussions air on the BBC? Because it's such a mainstream and major platform. And to have conversations like, for example, the one Saki and Zahira had, I think it was in episode 2, about
Mm.
so many of the fans mistake POC queens for each other.
Yeah.
That's really powerful to have on the BBC. How have you felt as someone that's been on the cast seeing that?
It's nice that it's getting its light of like all different situations, and especially like as a POC performer myself, and like someone who even without performing is just kind of having to work twice as hard regardless, like to have such conversations we spoke about, whether it's about kind of our skin, whether it's about what we've gone through when we were younger, like yesterday's episode, whether it's just like, who we are as people. It really does go to show that it's it needs to be seen, and that anybody that doesn't feel like they can speak on it is able to see that it's okay to just talk on absolutely anything and be authentic in it. Um, because yeah, growing up, didn't really see many conversations on things, like no matter what it was. Definitely didn't see no queer, gay, lesbian, trans, little Caribbean, St. Lucian idols to run by. And now you got two of them on the BBC. Like, it's something that is so important for like not just the young generation coming up, but then also like the older generation as well, where they can kind of learn something from us. And come about it in a way of, oh, I've not been able to come out, but you know what? Now I can, and I'm 60 odd.
Mm,
But now you can live in your true self. Yeah, representation matters
yeah.
all the time, all the time, and every time. For it.
Before we let you go, let's do some
Mm.
five questions.
Let's do it.
You really upsettingly to me as a fan, before journalist, before anything else, as a fan and a viewer, went home the week of before Snatch Game. Do you know who you would have played?
Oh yeah, it'd have been Regina Hall plays Brenda Meeks from Scary Movie. Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
no, right, we need to re-record the whole season because this isn't acceptable to me. I'm
Like,
not here.
hi.
We have been waiting for Regina Hall to make an appearance on that show for so long.
Like, I'm surprised she hasn't. Imagine.
I'm gonna have to take a minute to move on from that and just do. I'm really not kidding when I say that's upset me, but anyway, that's okay. Hopefully you can do that live at a gig that I will be at one day. Either way,
Won't do it until you tell me you're gonna be there.
do you know what I mean? What was your favorite challenge of the season?
The design. No, I'm kidding.
No, sorry, we're gonna talk about that in 1 second. You've just triggered something in me, but you answer first.
um, definitely the girl group challenge. I was in my bag.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I do. I work with the dolls. I work with the girls. I work in music. She's a lyricist. She's a dancer. Like, absolutely. I was like, if I do not get to do that challenge, I'm gonna burn the studio down. Because if I don't get to do it, no one does. Thank you. But
Miss Kiki,
mm-hmm.
RuPaul quite literally compared you to E.T.
Bitch, I am 80 now. Thank you.
But like you obviously wouldn't have known that at the time because it was during the deliberations. What was that like watching that? And did you get the reference instantly?
Oh yeah, I did. I can't. When I tell you, so me, my partner Max, and our friends, Reese and Nathan, was literally just we sat at home, we were like, yeah, let's put it on. And then she was like, two words, phone home. And we were like, no. And then she said it. And when I tell you the scream from all of us, I'm sure the neighbors were like, are they okay? Like, what is going on? And instantly got the picture up. The people had already put it on Twitter. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to post that now. But I'm capitalizing on that.
I mean, I feel yeah, as you should. I feel like when Mama Ru takes a shot, she don't miss, and that was one of those
She
times. You know
does.
what I
She
mean?
went hook, line, and swing, or whatever it's called. Finca, all that jazz.
Well, listen, Kiki. Last thing, what are you
Mhm.
away from this experience, and what can we expect from Kiki going forward?
I'm taking away that no matter how good you are or how good you think you are, you're always judged for the person that you are. um, and that's okay because, you know, all the world's a stage
Mhm.
and all that jazz. And what you can expect from me in the future is tours, some things that I can't disclose at the moment. And you can see me on Lemon's tour for the whole tour coming in January. So
Love that. Well, again, I'm so sorry that it's over, but listen, hopefully one day on an
it's
all-star,
only just begun, baby.
you know what I mean? And
Yep,
good luck with everything, and
it's perfect.
cannot wait to see what's next, Sterling.
Thank you, Bob.